What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T, and tonight in this video, I'll be doing my rundown and thoughts on NXT UK for the 4th of November 2021. And let's start it and let's get going. Let's get underway. Flash Morgan Webster. He's gonna have to pay for provoking Rampage Brown last week. And despite the fact that he did mount a comeback after pretty much being used as a proverbial punching bag and being thrown from pillar to post and all over the damn ring and outside the ring, Brown ends up putting Webster out of his misery with a looked to me like a gut wrench power bomb. I mean, he gets him from the Flash Morgan Webster is on the ground, seated, and then he just Rampage Brown just picks him up, slams him down. And all I gotta say, he pins him and beats him, of course. And all I gotta say is Flash Morgan Webster is annoying as fuck. Yeah, doing all this stuff is just like, what are you trying to prove? Like, and then he's just an arrogant fuck. Like, okay, you look at Danny Luna and Mark Andrews, and they're pretty humble. They're pretty out there at times too, and stuff like that. But it's just like they got to do something about their boy. They got to kind of, I mean, I think they're trying to talk to him, but you know what I mean. So I'm glad, and then hopefully he picks on Dave Mastiff next, and then picks on who's their other big boys, that he can pick on. You know, one day he's gonna get it through that thick skull. We'll see. Now, backstage we see Tyler Bate being interviewed, and then Trent Seven interferes or interrupts the interview, and he asks Tyler Bate to he's not going to be able to be right unless and feel right unless Trent Seven forgives him. I mean, Tyler Bate forgives Trent Seven, and then Tyler Bate does, and then when he does, Trent Seven is fixated on the tag team titles in NXT UK, and he's got them in the once was a triple threat match for the number one contender for the tag team titles. Now he was able to talk to Johnny Saint. They got him into the involved, and now it's a fatal four way. And I don't know. It looks like Tyler Bate is he forgives him, but I don't know. Trent Seven was kind of being laying it on a little bit too thick, and even after he said it, he goes, "Oh, hugging him, and it's just like there's something to that." I think either guy is gonna snap when they don't win the Fatal Four Way tag team match, and I'm looking at I don't know who would be the one to turn heel and snap on him. Could be Trent Seven just because of the fact that he's been focused on the tag team titles, and I don't think Trent Seven, wouldn't do that. Because I don't think I think he would do that. What am I saying? I think he would be the one to do that because Tyler Bate looks like a guy that he understands. He understands what happened with the whole thing. If that's going to carry over and make him even more mad that he wanted to focus on the tag team titles, did Trent Seven. He doesn't even ask Tyler Bate, hey, you want a rematch, man? Hey, it's my fault. You should go back after it. It's going to be like that, where it's like, you cost me my title, and then now you want to go after the tag team titles, but then if we lost the number one contender match, and then he might snap. Go either way. It's kind of like a, yeah. It could go either way, like I said. Now, Zaya Brookside, she asks Sid Scala for a shot at whomever is the women's champ after the main event, but Scala points out to Zia, to Xia Li, to Zaya Brookside, that, reminding her of her not so stellar run of losses. And then she goes and whines on the phone to her dad, Robbie Brookside. Don't know what he's going to do about it. He's good friends, I'm sure, with Johnny Saint. He may talk to Johnny Saint. But now let's go to another match, and that is Angel Hayes, a newcomer. She's going to face Isla Dawn. And for the newcomer Hayes, she may win because all Dawn is focused on is collecting trinkets and trophies to put in her witch's brew, whatever that is she's concocting. That she says it's going to, you know, benefit her, and I don't know, maybe it's going to make her able to win. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And then in this match, it was a a match just to feature the newcomer, and then we end up seeing Isla Dawn being DQ'd for not releasing Hayes' hair. She had her hair. She wouldn't stop holding on to her hair and pulling on her hair, and she don't care. Right? The referee calls for the distraction. I mean the DQ, and she ends up being DQ'd, of course, and Angel Hayes wins. And did the crowd just chant "You suck" at Isla Dawn? And perhaps it applies here because she's not concerned with winning matches. Don't know where this is going. Don't know if it's going to do her any good. This should be a payoff. Hopefully there is. Well, we'll see. Now Sam Gradwell backstage and complaining as to why A Kid is getting all the attention. We see all of the Spanish coverage all over. Praising him, and he's talking in his native language, and he's letting people know how he feels. He's happy, and he should be. It was a great match. Guy really took the champ Ilya Dragunov to his limit, and really, really just almost went beyond that and almost won the title. I thought for there's some certain points of the match, I was thinking, A Kid may win this, and he's getting all this attention, and why? Is Sam Gradwell complaining as to why this is all happening? I don't know. Maybe it's because he's a former and first ever Heritage Cup champion, and he's one of the best. Had one of the best matches, like I said, challenging for the NXT Championship. And what have you done there, Sammy? Oh, Sammy Gradwell. Nothing. A big goose egg of nothing. This is the thing that annoys me about this guy is because he goes around complaining, and he went to Trent Seven and said, "Hey, you're not the only first ever part of the beginning of NXT UK. I was there too when it first was born, and stuff like that. But then you haven't done jack. So how about you do something, rack up some victories, be dominant, and then maybe you can come back and complain. How come? What do you call it? A Kid is getting all the thing. I'm the one that's yeah. And you'd be like, yeah, you actually won. A string of matches, some great matches against Joe Coffey and against Rampage Brown, all these top guys. If you get victories over them, then maybe your complaints and all that stuff can be justified. You can justify there. And now Stevie Turner talks about how she's always two steps ahead of anybody in subculture. Like she says to them, "Hey, you guys aren't 4D. You guys don't have that type of thing about you." I mean, Flash Morgan Webster, like I said, the guy is still acting cocky, and he's annoying, like I said. And then he's talking about he's almost at a breakthrough, and I'm thinking, wait, breakthrough what? Near mediocrity? And then that's when she comes in, and then she tells them that's what sets her apart. Says you're not in my league, and all that stuff. She even looked at Danny Luna. I think there's going to be a hint of a match between those two, and I'd love to see that. I think they wrestled before. Danny Luna I think won. I'm trying to remember, but it's just annoying. Like you've lost like what 3 times, right? Against Wolfgang, against uh, Shaw Samuels, and then of course Rampage Brown, and then you're still all cocky. Like, is there a end game to this? Like, that's why you're smiling like a buffoon, like a goof when you lost. Like, what's your end game here? What's your thing, man? What's the end? What the plan? What is the end of this? Where is this going? Right? Getting your ass beat, I guess. Now, Ilya Dragunov in an annoying in-ring, promo, And he says over and over that he is our NXT UK champion. That's how he starts it. Just talking about everything, mentioned about his son, being happy that his dad is the NXT UK champion. I don't know. The tone of his voice and the way he was talking was just like, it was kind of, he was over emoting. And the crowd was being annoying every match and segment. I don't know what's up with the crowd. The same old chants, the same old stuff. I'm just like going, can you guys be a little more original and stop with the what whoever is going to kill you and fight forever and all of these other chants. And I'm just thinking, don't chant because you want to be cool. Chant because it applies to the match. There's some people that want to defend people chanting. You should chant whatever they want. Yeah, but there's a thing to it too. You need to do it when it applies. You can chant, sure, whatever you want, but how about you make sure that it applies to the match or it applies to the feeling of the mood, of the vibe of the match? Like, instead of just, throwing it out there, you know. And then he ends it off with Long Live the Czar. And then Rampage Brown, who apparently didn't shower or anything after his match that started the evening. So he's just swallowing, sitting in the locker room in his sweat and his stink and his stench and all that. So he probably came out there smelling like BO and all that stuff and things like that. I don't know. Doesn't matter. These guys are all men, right? They've smelled all kinds of smells in the ring. So, I guess it don't matter. He comes out to challenge Dragunov, I'm sure. And then after Ilya Dragunov says, you know what, man, I respect you. And he puts his hand out. And then Rampage Brown grabs, takes his hand in his and accepts the handshake. And then he clotheslines him with that same hand and same arm, actually, too. And he tells the champ that I don't need your respect. Picks up the title and gives it back to him. And he pretty much puts forth, indeed, that is his intention. And he wants a shot at the title. I'd like to see that match. I mean, he's challenged Rampage Brown. He challenged Walter before. And, this match will be a very, very good one. If they do sign off on it, if Johnny Saint and Sid Scala sign off on it, then we're going to see a very, very physical match. We're going to see Braun versus... Actually, it could be Braun versus Braun. I mean, these two are powerful. They're strong. It's just the fact that Rampage Brown has has a weight advantage and the power advantage. And even though Ilya Dragunov has shown that he can be powerful for a guy his size, you wouldn't think he's powerful, but he is. But then he's got the athletic advantage. He's a high flyer when he wants to be. He hits that torpedo Moscow headbutt out of nowhere. Rampage Brown proving that when Flash Morgan Webster went off the ropes, he did a leapfrog over him. As Rampage Brown's coming off the ropes, he just goes to do a leapfrog, and then Rampage Brown just grabs him and then delivers a power slam. It's just like amazing. So it's going to be one of those matches, one of those kind of, it may be a match that'll, maybe it could even rival that of Dragunov versus Walter, even A-Kid versus Dragunov. So we'll see. There's a lot of good opponents, a lot of good people. That's the key to really making your title reign mean anything, is that you got quality opponents. People that are going to make you look good in the ring, and you're going to make them look good in the ring, and in turn, it turns into a really great contest. So we'll see what happens if that's going to be made, possible and signed off and everything else. They're going to definitely have a contract signing, I'm sure. And so we'll see what happens when that happens, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, Meiko and Jinny are backstage, and Blair Davenport informs them both that they are both on notice. And she's looking to challenge whomever is champ after the main event. So we're looking at someone who is the definite possible next contender, not Zaya Brookside, because at least Blair Davenport has been winning and she's been dominant, and she's been showing that she's definitely going to be the difference maker in the women's division. Now, the eye is always watching. What does Teal Man mean by that? He's talked about making his family bigger. Nothing's happening. He is being talked by Rohan Raja. What about Joe Coffey? And he doesn't worry about it. That's why he's saying the eye is always watching. But then again, I'm thinking again, what does that mean? Is Joe Coffey going to be a part of the family? He even had a wine glass and he tipped it over. It was upside down. He tipped it back over, and then he has it laying or something. I was expecting someone to reach over for it, and then he pours wine, does Tealman, and it ends up being whoever's going to be the newest member of the family. I don't know. This is some silliness. I don't know what's going on with that. Look, add somebody to the family already. You keep talking about it. Let's see that happen. Now, next week we will see the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT UK Tag Team Championship challengers. We have Symbiosis, Mustache Mountain, the team of Oliver Carter and Ashton Smith, and the team of Jack Stars and Dave Mastiff. And all four teams will face off. It started off as a triple threat, then Mustache Mountain was added. We have a fatal 4-way. That's going to be a great match, and we'll definitely see who is the rightful number one contender. That's what I like about NXT UK is because they have tag teams that are together. They haven't been broken up. They've been dominant. They've been featured a lot. So this is the tag team division that people can take notice of and care about. And I can't wait. Now Nathan Frazier and Mark Andrews may be happening soon. A one-on-one match. They both respect each other. Nathan Frazier was watching some footage and video of Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews notices it. They even give a little like that, to kind of or what do you call it, elbow kind of thing, mutual respect. Want that to happen, and then Nathan Frazier's like, well, I guess I gotta go and find GM Johnny Saint to make it happen, and that's gonna be a good match. Very athletic match, very fit, very high flying. All the adjectives when it comes to guys like those two. It's gonna be a great match. Now, main event we have Jinny versus Meiko Satomura for the NXT UK Women's Championship. It's a very physical match, and both women are tough. Jinny delivers a makeover towards the mid part of the match, and Meiko kicks out. A ripcord is avoided by the champ, but connects later with her rolling lighter kick, but Satomura kicks out again. We see a Pele kick followed up by a Death Valley bomb by the champ, but it's still not enough to keep the fashionista Jinny down. And then we see the Scorpio Rising Axe kick by Meiko Satomura. It connects, but Meiko wants to make sure that she puts away Jinny, and then again she delivers the Death Valley bomb, and this time Jinny stays down for good. And still your NXT Women's Champ, Meiko Satomura. We saw, Joseph Connor try to get involved, and then we see Amelia McKenzie make sure that he doesn't interfere or cause an interference. That's going to distract her mentor, the final boss, Meiko Satomura. So he was a non-factor in the match, and we see Jinny seated on the rampway, wiping away her tears. I mean, she wasn't really crying, but she may have. She should have at least. She was expecting to be the winner and come out on top, but it didn't happen. But you can see that she was pouting and she was upset. She may get another shot, but it's going to be some time down the road. So who's next? Well, Blair Davenport. She didn't show up. But definitely now we know who's going to be put on notice now, and that is the final boss. Blair Davenport has been, I should say, dominant. And if she faces Meiko Satomura may finally be, she may be beaten, defeated, and her coveted title will be wrestled away by Blair Davenport. And it was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was the highlight, I would say. But can't wait to see what will happen in the build up to the eventual match between Meiko Satomura and Blair Davenport. But anyway, I did like it. I did like what do you call it? NXT UK. Some things in there I was like, okay, it's okay, but it was annoying here. It was something like this here. The crowd took me out of it at times. I just had to focus on the match, focus on the thing, and I was okay. But the crowd just got to chill out with this random chants that at times doesn't really belong, or sometimes it feels like it's forced, like they're trying to be cool. Let's just chant something. I mean, there's a handful of them in there. It's not a full arena or a full thing, so you hear them more clearly. They're not drowned out, so it's more annoying when you have, let's say, how much do they have in there? About 100 people in there, right? Like that, something like that, and you can hear them clearly instead of like a crowd where it's so loud that it's less annoying, but it could still be. But I'm not really complaining in a sense that I enjoyed the matches and I enjoyed things, but there were things, like I said, that kind of almost took me out of it. But at the same time, I stayed in there, I hung in there, and I enjoyed it. It was okay. But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.